Hello and welcome to Biz Daily. I'm Jon Jordan. So the news we're talking about today is EA Mobile's financial figures. So we're in the financial season. This is for the period of 3 months, 1st of October to 31st of December 2015. So EA as an overall company announces its figures, obviously. EA Mobile is a part of that. It doesn't really break them out in incredible detail, but we do get just the kind of headline sales figures. So I'll have to check my cheat sheet to make sure I'm getting it right. So during the October to December period, EA Mobile's sales were $126 million. Not a massive increase from previous quarters, so on a quarter-on-quarter level it's up 3%, and on a year-on-year level that's up 5%. Now the one thing we have to go into a bit of kind of technical detail on, so you know you're going to get some accountancy 101. So American companies have to announce their figures, and they have to use what they call the generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, or GAAP, AA, and that's not very great for games companies, especially games companies that have a lot of kind of free-to-play games, which obviously EA Mobile does have. So partly kind of the issue with the GAAP accounting is that it's how you kind of book what they call deferred revenue. So say in a free-to-play game I might spend $100 buying some gems. Now I might not use those gems straight away. I might kind of only spend $10 of the gems in a game. So in accounting principles, even though I've spent $100 in terms of my money, I've only really used $10 in EA's game. So that's kind of the difference you have between what they call GAAP and non-GAAP. The reason this is interesting is if we look at EA Mobile's non-GAAP figures, so basically if we look at the revenue it kind of received in that period of time but players didn't consume, it's a bit of a different story. So on that level the revenue was, check again, $162 million, so quite a big difference from 162 to 126. And actually on the non-GAAP level, it's EA Mobile's quarterly increase. So comparing the October to December quarter to the, maths right, July to September quarter was up 43%. So that's pretty massive. So that obviously kind of in terms of accounting terms, that kind of difference will be shown up. So whenever we get EA's next quarter, obviously people who spent money in its Q3 will eventually consume all those gems. So it's not like EA's losing money, it's just exactly where it gets to account for it, kind of chronologically. But what's really interesting is there were two games that have been really big for EA Mobile during the October to December quarter. One of them we know all about because I've been playing it a lot, we've been writing about it a lot. So Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has been a massive success for EA. It's been a top 20 grossing game in the US, in the UK, and in all the big kind of European markets, France, Germany. So that game will have generated certainly tens of millions of dollars for EA. The problem for EA is that the game only came out alongside or just before the Star Wars The Force Awakens film. So there's only 2 weeks of that game's revenue are accounted in this period. So even though that's a massive success for EA, that basically none of those sales, I mean a bit of it but not very much, has been accounted for in that period. So we won't really see the impact of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes until we get the next quarter's figures, where it would be a full quarter where that game's been operating. So surprisingly, perhaps certainly surprisingly for me, EA's big game of the quarter, the one that kind of created that big non-GAAP rise in sales, was Madden NFL Mobile. So Madden is obviously an American football game. It's been going across various platforms for EA for 20 years now. Mobile's never been particularly big, and that's partly because it's a game obviously that is very successful or very big in America, not so big in the rest of the world where obviously American football isn't played. Actually, it is. If you look at the three big markets for Madden Mobile, it's the US, which is by far the strongest, and then Canada and Mexico are pretty strong as well, much stronger than the UK or any other European market. So it's still, if you think about kind of the US, 300 million people, Canada and Mexico, I mean that's a pretty big market. That's getting on for over 400 million. Getting on 400 million people. So it's a fairly large market. But what EA has done much more cleverly than before, it's much more focused on operating that as a game as a service. So obviously it's kind of Madden is highly kind of geared to the American football season, and EA has proven to be very good this year at. They kind of did the big update at the start of the season, I think it was kind of mid-October, mid-August, and compared to the last year, 2014, this year the game rose up the chart much quicker and rose up to a much higher level, and has sustained that level pretty much for the entire season. Obviously now the Super Bowl's ended, and what tends to happen for the Madden game is, because there's no American football happening anymore, it kind of drops off and drops down the top grossing charts. So it'll be interesting to see whether EA can maintain that at a higher level, just as it's kind of maintained it through the season at a high level. But certainly good news for EA Mobile. Madden's done really well for the quarter we just looked at, and we expect kind of good things from the Star Wars game as well next quarter. So that's the big financial news we've been looking at today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come back and see what the big news is happening. We're in the financial period, so it'll probably be financial news, but subscribe and you won't miss a thing. See you this.